Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day today. Today I'm going to give you some of my best study tips for university. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you do like it, and hit the subscribe button if you are new, and hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload. Go and have a look at my channel, and there will probably be a few other university videos already out and top tips for you. But today we're going to do all about studying. So my first sort of thing is, how much time should you be spending on revising for a module? What I was told, which was really useful within my first or second year, is if you have a 30 credit module, you should be spending 30 hours of extra work on top of your lectures. If you have a 15 credit module, you should be spending 15 hours on top of your lectures, which sounds like a lot, but when you break it down, if you're doing 1 hour of study every week for a month, you've already hit that. This is obviously on top of your lectures, so most lectures range between an hour to 2 hours, sometimes maybe 3. Or my practicals would be pretty much all day from like 9 until 4. So some days are a bit longer than others. Obviously ranges from university and different university courses. You will be set probably on your Canvas site. Most universities use this thing called Canvas, where you have all of the pre-work, all of the lecture slides, the recordings of the lecture. Most lectures will be recorded so you can go back to them afterwards, and also so if you're ill you can have access to that. On Canvas you'll probably be set pre-work for each lecture. Even if you do it the day before, make sure you're doing it, because in my first year, I'm going to be honest, I didn't do it. I didn't do any of the pre-reading, any of the pre-work that they'd set. I did it in second year and my grades just went straight up. So definitely, if you want to be getting the higher marks at university, do the pre-work beforehand. Just so you know, most universities work on a 40% pass rate, which doesn't sound like a lot, but essentially if you want a first in your degree, which is the top in the UK, you want to be getting 70% or higher. So definitely do the pre-work if you want to be ending up getting a 2-1 or a first. My next tip is, if you do not understand something from the lecture or practical or doing the reading, if you do not understand something, contact your lecturers. Obviously don't spam them, because they have lives too, they have many other students, but ask them, question it. They might be able to set some time aside to go through it with you. They might be like, oh, we're actually covering that in the lecture, so just wait until the lecture and email me if it doesn't make sense again. But keep in contact. You'll probably have a personal tutor, which may also be the lead of one module, so you might be able to be like, oh, hi, can you help? So make use of them, because that's what they're there for. That's what they get paid for. Make use of them. Start deadlines early. Now, you might be some of them people that can get away with doing an all-nighter and submitting it the next day. But if you want to not be as stressed, start it about a month before the deadline. Most of them I started on a month before the deadline, finished it sort of a week before the deadline, got my dad to read through it or someone to read through it, and then submitted it about 3 days before the deadline. Most of the submissions will be online, so you don't want your Wi-Fi to go down on the submission day and you can't submit it, because then you probably won't get good marks. So start it early. Go to your lectures. You're paying £9,250. Use it wisely. I don't understand people that don't turn up to lectures. Even if you're out on a Wednesday, because that's the clubbing night, drag yourself into your 9 AM lecture on a Thursday. You will be tired, but have like 7 cups of coffee to get you through it. All of the stuff you learn in your lectures will come up on the exam, or will come back up at another point in your degree. Normally first year you build on it in second year and build on it in third year. So if you don't have the foundations, you're minorly screwed. Obviously, if you're unwell, most of them are recorded so you can access it, but not all of the recordings are accurate. Some lecturers forget to start the recordings, so you'll miss certain information. Some lecturers will answer questions in person but delete them in the recording. So it's a lot better if you can actually walk over and sit in the lecture room, or walk over to your desk and get on Zoom. Because of my DSA, which I will cover in another video, which stands for Disabled Students Allowance, I have certain software on my laptop which allows me to record the lectures. If you are able to record it, whether that's on your phone as like a voice recording app thing, have it with you just in case the recording that they publish a few days later doesn't have what you heard or takes out a question or something. If you really struggle with concentration, download a focus app. I think it's called Forest. Basically what that does is you grow a tree, you set a time, you grow a tree, and you can't use certain apps on your phone until that time's over, which has been really useful, especially if you're sat at your desk on a Zoom lecture. It's a lot easier to get distracted. So definitely have some sort of app on your phone to stop you from scrolling endlessly through TikTok for 7 hours. Make use of your library. It's probably huge and there's probably a good reason for it. My library I think has 4 stories, so definitely use it. There'll be books that you can loan and use, and study rooms. So if you don't like working in your room, you can go. There's like individual study rooms, group study rooms, bunch of computers, bean bags, strange rooms with clouds on the ceiling, like whatever you want is probably there. I can't say for every single university, but there will probably be something to cater for you in that university. My one has a little shop downstairs, so you could literally be there all day. The next thing I kind of want to speak about is how to use your time. So you'll obviously have lecture time set out, scheduled for you. So I think mine was probably something on the Monday, something on the Tuesday, maybe something on the Wednesdays, and then a practical day on the Thursday, and then pretty much nothing else. So say I had a lecture 9 till 11 and then 2 till 4 on a Monday. I would then be using you might have after work, so you might have work to do afterwards or reading to do afterwards, or maybe you didn't finish the pre-work. I would use that time from 4 until about dinner and do that there. And then I'd give myself a break. Tuesday, if I had something 9 till 11 and then nothing else, I'd go food shopping. So say I'd get back by 1, I'd then work on some other modules, work on an assignment, because you can never start an assignment too early, but you can 100% start it too late. Wednesday, you obviously have societies in the afternoon. So if I had a lecture 9 till 11 on the Wednesday, I could go out and do something on the Wednesday, whether that's go to a game, depending on what sport you play, join a society, go do fitness. My university had like active student sessions, which were like 3 sessions every week to go and essentially do exercise. So I would go to one of them, come back, have dinner, all of that. Thursday would be my practical day, so I'd have like 9 until 4 doing something, and I'd come back pretty tired, so chill. Friday I'd then do pre-work probably for the next week, work on assignments, but make sure you give yourself enough breaks in between, because a thing that I was doing probably in first year, which burnt me out quite a bit, was I was spending probably all Friday with no break doing work, which just isn't realistic. And then Saturday and Sunday, nothing really happens. You might go out on the Saturday night, you might meet up with friends at the weekend, but it's trying to figure out what you need to do for the next week and what could you do in advance of deadlines, because you will have deadlines and you will have to work towards them. So whether that's you spend Saturday redoing Monday's lectures because your notes are basically squiggles on a page you can't read, then do so. There's no sort of set way to use your time, but that's how I would sort of do it. How I would sort of study was I'd have books like this, just little books, simple books, and then I'd write notes out a lot neater within them to sort of consolidate my knowledge. Obviously studying is different for everyone. You learn in different ways and you revise in different ways. Certain things which I do in my first year for anatomy and physiology was I'd take my laptop and my tablet, because my tablet would have like a drawing software. So if she's drawing a diagram on the whiteboard, that won't be picked up on the recording. So I'd redraw it onto my tablet really badly, like barely make out what it was, and then go and use the textbooks to draw it out properly and annotate it a lot nicer. How you use most of your time is up to you though. Depends how much you want to do extracurricular stuff. Sometimes if you're extremely tired, have a nap. It's entirely up to you. I can only say like what I've done. I would also say take your time within first year to discover your way of learning. My way of learning is essentially take what they have on the PowerPoint, because the way how my software does it is takes what the writing off the PowerPoint, puts it in another section. So you've got the PowerPoint, writing from the PowerPoint, my notes, because I don't make any notes if it's already in that written section off the PowerPoint. I don't write anything about it. Type as quickly as I can and record it. Now then, what I do afterwards is I'd go back to that same section. I'd write up notes from the pre-work. They'd already been done. On the lecture, I'd then re-listen to it, pick out the points, the important points from the PowerPoint and what I've written. Write down any bits that I've missed because I'm frantically typing, and then move on to sort of the next section. In terms of writing down notes, again, everyone will do it differently, but I'd say if it's written on the PowerPoint, don't bother writing it down. If it's already there with access to you, don't write it down. If it's already in the pre-work they've given you, don't bother writing it down, because lecturers will talk fast, and if your typing speed isn't super quick, you're gonna miss bits. Make use of the recorded lectures too. So I think that's all of my study tips, which I can probably give you. Do your best, start deadlines early is probably the main things to take away from this. But I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure we give a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you are new. It's completely free. You can unsubscribe at any point that you like, and hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!